Hi, everybody. We are now at the end of week 5 of unschooling, and I wanted to give you guys an update because we had a jam-packed week. It was a good week overall. It was another one of those weeks where I was like, what day is it? What am I doing? Because a lot of stuff is changing for me at work. And when you get out of your schedule. And unschooling has definitely got me out of my schedule too. So it's all been good though, because I'm growing and learning right along with the girls. So let's start with the cool stuff, the good stuff. First of all, I got a new to me iPhone. It wasn't necessarily a brand new iPhone 16, but I'm telling you that because the video quality should be better for most of the videos that we shoot. Sometimes we shoot some stuff on the girls' phones. They have iPhones 11s. But now I have an iPhone 15 and I had an 11. So I'm hoping that the video quality is a little bit better. I was noticing some pixelation and stuff in the videos. And since that's my line of work, I don't like to see pixelation in videos. I also got an upgraded mic set. And it allows for us to record audio for 4 people. So I can mic 4 people at a time with a single iPhone. Amazing, right? So that's the technical side of the good stuff this week. When it comes to unschooling, I did what I said I wanted to do last week, and I was like, can I do it this quickly? I wasn't sure. So in my last video, I said, I think we need to get out of the house a little bit more because it's great working out of the house and being with the girls in the house. And the girls do go outside and do a bunch of stuff, but I felt like we needed what I'm calling a field trip, an unschooling field trip. I don't know if we can do that every week, but we did it this week. We went to the Museum of Making Music in Carlsbad, California. So there's a funny story behind this. We had a free pass. This is our free pass. It's also a really cool bookmarker that gives you a ton of information about the instruments and stuff. I have had this pass for 6 years. It has been in my junk drawer in my kitchen because I thought it would be such a good idea to take the kids and, it's like for 4 people. And I think it's like $10 a person if you just go and pay. And I thought, that'd be such a good field trip or such a good event or, something that the family can do on the weekend. But you get so busy. And this is just another example of how when you unschool or homeschool your kids, you can take advantage of these things you've been wanting to do for 6 years, you guys. Seriously. And they still accepted it. There's no due date or, expiration date on this. They're like, oh yeah, absolutely, we'll honor it. So the girls actually did a YouTube short about the Museum of Making Music, so you can see some of the exhibits, and we got to play all these incredible instruments. It was actually a lot of fun. I think we spent like an hour and a half there. So we did that this week. I said I was going to do it, and I did it. And again, I don't know if we're going to get out of the house and do something like a field trip every week. That seems like a lot. But I'm starting to think of things that we can do. So right now I'm thinking maybe every other week, maybe back-to-back weeks. I don't know. But I did it. So that is definitely a win. Something to work on with the girls. So I can't remember what day it was, but we were all getting ready in the morning. So I was getting ready for work, and the girls were getting ready for school. And I looked in their room, and I saw that they were talking to each other and doing their hair while their lessons were playing. So when I say lessons, we have decided to do some of our core subjects through a homeschooling video platform. And it's been working really well. So it's structured really well. And maybe I'll do a whole video on some of the apps and stuff we're using. But they usually have a video, and it's an entertaining video. And then you have to, answer some questions. You've got to do some math problems, whatever it is, but it goes along with the lesson. But here they are chatting to each other, doing their hair and playing one of their videos. And I was like, no. So we now have a rule. You have to get ready in the morning before you do your schoolwork because, I'm just we're figuring this stuff out. And I didn't want to put too many rules on them. I want them to be able to think for themselves. But if they're straying off course, it's my job to steer them back on the right path, right? And that was one of those situations. And honestly, it wasn't a big deal. I think they knew that they shouldn't be doing that, but they said, okay, Mom, we'll do that moving forward, and it hasn't been an issue since. So I'm going to be watching for that. But that was something we definitely needed to correct, because these lessons aren't super long. And like I said, they're really entertaining. So just sit down. You're not in a classroom at school with all these other kids. You're not there for 6 hours. I'm kind of aiming for 2-ish hours a day of real schoolwork. So take that time and be serious about it. And I told them, listen, we can't do this if you aren't serious, because you're still learning. It's important that you learn. I just want you to be able to participate more in the learning process. Because again, I believe that if you're learning about stuff you care about, you're going to remember it. You're going to share it with other people. You're going to be more excited about it. And maybe it will help you on whatever you decide to do for a career. So we had to correct that this week. That's something we're working on. And then something that I am excited about. So the girls have these questions that they do each week. They have got a list of questions, and each of them pick a question, and then they research whatever the question is, and they figure out a creative way to present the information. That's just something we do each week. And I really want the girls to understand the information that they're researching. So I don't want this to just be, I did the research and I can't remember the answer to the question. They really have to learn something. So there's something that I'm going to implement this next week. The girls don't even know about it yet, where I'm going to have each of them review the subjects, the questions that they came up with for the last month, and then quiz each other. And maybe we'll even record it. I'm not sure how that's going to work. But I want, one of my daughters to do research on the other girls' videos and questions, do that for each other. And then the person who did the research comes up with the questions for the other girl. And then let's see if we're actually learning something here. So maybe we'll record it. I don't know. But I'm kind of excited about that because, as I mentioned before in these videos, my biggest fear, although I'm trying not to dwell on this, my biggest fear is that we're going through the motions of learning, but is all this sticking, right? And I'm not saying that if they were in a regular school, it automatically sticks, because I don't believe that. But it's still my job as their guide to make sure that they're learning. And when you're doing this on your own, there's fewer ways to determine that. And I'm still trying to figure out what that looks like, because I still want them to be actively involved in everything they're doing and everything they're learning. There's just not a teacher there to be like, well, they should know this by this date and this by this date. And I don't want that. I don't even believe in that kind of system. So what does the new system look like? And are they growing and are they learning? And I think videos, them quizzing each other, I'm hoping that will help me gauge if all of this is working and how well it's working and what changes I need to make, because I'm fully committed to this. I just want to make sure that we're moving forward. So that was our week, guys. Thanks for being with us on this journey. I appreciate all of you. If you have any thoughts or ideas, feel free to leave them below in the comments. I'm probably not going to do a video next week. I'm going to back off from doing these weekly videos because, I want to gather up some information for you and make sure these videos are as informative as possible. So maybe it'll be a couple weeks before I come back on. I don't know. Maybe I'll have a ton of content next week. I'll be like, I got to do another video. I'm just not going to say for sure that I'm doing another one. I will do it when I have information to give. And until that time, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you online.